Para la gente que no conoce, ¿para qué empresas ha trabajado?
Okay, for people that may not know a lot about you, in which companies did you work before Digixart?
So I worked about 14 years in Ubisoft in France and in Singapore, a new studio in Singapore where we made Assassin's Creed 3, the naval battles. It was, the part with the boats, the big ships fighting.
Yes.
So that was the part we did in Singapore.
Okay.
Bueno, ¿cómo fue el proceso de trabajar para Ubisoft y para un equipo de un juego tan reconocido y con una historia tan larga?
This is at the same time this is complex because there are so many people. We were like 600 developers together, not all in the same location. So this is the main issue. We were in Singapore, like 100 people. There were people in Montreal. There were people in Toronto. There were people like everywhere, all over the world. So the coordination, the way we work together is very important because to keep it like on time, we have to coordinate a lot. So it means, and when you work in Singapore and the main team is in Montreal, it's exactly the opposite on Earth. So you have to find a good way to do meetings. Is it like early in the morning or late in the evening?
Right.
It depends. So and it feels interesting because the development is always living, because when you sleep they don't, so it's like in a
It's always
hospital.
moving.
It's like in a hospital, when doctors, they come in the morning and then they switch, they do this kind of
Right.
switch. So it's a game that it was 2 years development. During 2 years it's like living. So it's very interesting.
¿Qué piensa del género AAA y del género mundo abierto, como fue Assassin's Creed?
Okay. What do you think about the AAA genre and about the open world genre also?
I think I really loved to make it, but after that I felt that as it is a so big team, you can only act on a very small part of the game. Your impact in the game is small, and sometimes you would like to change things and you cannot, because this is all already stuck on paper. You cannot change a lot of things. So when I came back after that in France, after Assassin's Creed, I wanted to go back to a very small team, to be more creative, and so that everybody in the team can add something into the game, and not just being as a executant. You just execute your task. So I liked to work on AAA, but I think I prefer to work on smaller games, and that's why now I founded an indie studio to make sure we keep this creative mind and way of working.
¿Qué piensa ahora de cómo están llevando las cosas con Assassin's Creed los últimos después de lo que él ha hecho?
I think we made the number 3 in the series with the American Revolution, Connor, and after that they did I think it was Unity. No, there was Black Flag. I really liked those.
Unity and
Yeah, so Black Flag was very great, and as we did the naval battles, we were very proud to see that after that there was a full game on naval. So that was a great achievement on the Black Flag. And after that, they had a lot of struggles, on the. I was not anymore on Assassin's Creed after that, but the Unity was difficult project because they changed the engine. So basically, it was a new generation exactly for the engine. So that was quite hard in terms of technical issue, and you have seen the bugs, famous bugs of Assassin's Creed Unity. So it was difficult for the team. I remember them really struggling to make it work on time.
What do you think about the transition between Assassin's Creed that was about a stealth game to about an action game like it is now?
Yeah, it's just my opinion. I think they should keep the pillars, the initial pillars of Assassin's Creed, that is crowd stealth and climbing, and not going too much into the action, because the combat system in Assassin's Creed is not the best in the world. So it's sometimes you want to do all features to be the best, but maybe that's not a good call. Maybe it's better to be the best on one thing, like climbing or stealth, and not you assume that the combat system is not perfect, but that's not the main thing for Assassin's Creed.
The strong point about Assassin's Creed was stealth. That's what you put your efforts on.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to make another AAA game, or you want to just do a game that is centered on just one genre,
This is a good question. It depends. Honestly, it really depends on the moment of your life. So basically, I like to do different things. Otherwise, it's boring. So basically, if you spend 2 or 3 years on something, after that you start to get bored of what you do. So this is why sometimes it's very good to make a AAA game with a big team and big expectations. And then sometimes after that you want to make something small, and it's like when you eat. If you eat meat you eat a lot of meat in Uruguay. If you eat meat all the time, you get bored of meat. Like, oh come on! Even if it's good meat, but still you eat too much. So it's a bit the same. Sometimes you want to do something else, to have some vegetables, and then go back. So it really depends. Right now we are making smaller games.
¿Qué piensa de Kickstarter?
What do you think about Kickstarter?
I think it was a good thing at the beginning, and I think now it's over. There are too much projects on Kickstarter, and so the number of projects being backed is less than before. And also there were, I have friends working with Peter Molineux in 22 Cans in UK, and Peter Molineux, he did a huge Kickstarter for Godus, the mobile game Godus, and it was a big success. They raised like $2 million. But after that, they had to meet the expectations of the backers, all of them, and they still have today. Every day, Peter has to sign some stuff on paper to give to the fans. So the engagement you have with a Kickstarter can be huge. Like if you say, hey, if you back this amount, you're gonna have a signed paper with the Peter Molineux signature. Then you have to make it happen. And also it's complex. And also you have to make sure that what you say at that moment in the video, you say we're gonna do that. Honestly, video game, it's something that is moving. A video game from the beginning of the project to the end is very different. So you cannot commit on at the beginning of the project. Okay, this is gonna be the game. You don't really know what's gonna be the final game. So Kickstarter makes you lie, because you have to say, hey, this game is gonna be awesome, blah blah blah, so that people pay. And then if the game is different, people are really mad at you. They will say, come on, the game was not supposed to be this, and then it creates a negativity around your game. So
like
this is what happened.
Number 9, for example.
Yeah, exactly. This is.
Or No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky also.
Yeah, I don't know if they did a Kickstarter, maybe not. But yeah, exactly like No Man's Sky. Yeah.
Do you think big companies are killing the game industry? Like, for example, in my opinion, they sometimes do low quality games actually to grab more money. Actually, I know they are a company, but sometimes games are about fun, and sometimes they are not making games fun.
Yeah, I think it's still an industry. We call it an industry. So, but at the same time, we need those big companies, because if you want, even as an indie game, you want to make a bigger game, and that you don't have the budget for it, then it's good to have those big companies to be able to publish your games. So even No Man's Sky, without Sony, they could not launch this type of game. So at the same time, sometimes we hate them, like you said, sometimes we hate them because we think, come on, they do this just for the money. And sometimes you say, okay, but they are here, so sometimes they can help you to make a good game, a bigger game. So basically, I think it's yin-yang. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I think you have to take the good parts of a big publisher, and still there is some creativity. And when I was at Ubisoft, it's a very creative company. After that, it's just that it's so big that it's complex to make sure you can change things, add new things in the game. So it's more because of the size of those companies.
Okay.
So interview with you. And actually, it's an honor to have this interview with you. Actually, it's the first time I have ever had an interview.
That's nice.
Such important. So thank you so much
thank you
for this. And sorry for taking your time.